Holly Price with woodlandshits.com, and I have the lead producer, Phil Aslaksen, and co-producer, Joe DeMonico, from EVElyn Rising, which is a major motion picture that is going to be filmed in the Texas area. Thank you both so much for coming into the studio. I greatly appreciate it.
Very welcome, Holly.
So tell me a little bit about EVElyn Rising, and I am saying that correctly.
It's spelled EVElyn Rising, but we pronounce EVElyn Rising.
EVElyn Rising.
And there's a reason for that, but we don't want to spoil it.
Okay, please don't spoil the plot. I'm not one of those spoiler alerts. Yes, I don't do that.
Well, the elevator pitch would be something like, a waitress in a small Texas town is becoming an angel with a God-given mission to decide whether humanity is still worth saving.
Wow.
And the genre is a faith-based sci-fi thriller, so that's kind of a unique blend.
That is, yeah. Is there any other movie like that?
I haven't heard of one.
No, I think other films have tried to approach that with faith and science fiction and other things, but we really felt when Phil wrote it, and I looked at it, I thought, well, this is explaining things like it. I never saw anything like it, and it spoke to me because it's the way I was also thinking about how all these things come together, but I don't think there's anything that's that comes close to.
So you're original. You're like the number one.
Well, I like to think so. I've been called a lot of things, but number one, I'll go with it.
Yeah, and it's a great script. I mean, like I said, I've known Phil for over 15 years, and we've worked on other projects prior to this and other films. And then he said, "Hey, I've got this script. Would you look at it? We trust each other's opinion greatly." And he said, "Look at it." And I said, "Sure." And I thought I'd read it, and give my opinion. I'm ready. I'm reading it, and I thought, wow. I mean, have I ever mentioned this to you before? Have we ever talked about this? Because I've been thinking about this for like a year and a half now, and it really was one of those things I thought came not out of my head, but we had similar thoughts. And he said, "I've never mentioned this to you in my life," and I knew this was meant to be.
Absolutely.
And loved the script. It really spoke to me, and everybody that does read it says it's wonderful, and it is.
So you guys are in pre-production stage, is that correct?
Yes, we have our talent sign. We have Bo Hopkins is part of it, and Morgan Fairchild.
Okay.
So we have some pretty well-known names, and we're also going to shoot it here in Texas. We want to shoot it here. We're all LA based except for my co-producer, but LA just can't really match what Texas can, as far as the whole feel of a small town.
Sure.
We want to see a rusty sign squeaking on a fence. We want to see like broken down trucks in a field, small town vibe, good people, hardworking, salt to the earth folks.
Sure.
And Texas just really kind of offers that Americana that this script really just calls for.
Okay.
Cool. Texas is a great state, and the idea of bringing more independent film, and I know they shoot here, but to bring more independent film to Texas and know how good it is to shoot here, especially in the area. I mean, there's a lot of resource, a lot of talent. There's no reason why people shouldn't, and but keeping it Texas-based, and that's how we've been approaching people who want to be involved in the film. It's a Texas-based LLC. We're going to shoot it in Texas, hire as many people in the Texas area, in the general area and in Texas we can, because it's worth investing in the state, in the community. So we're trying to give back. It's not it's not all about I want to make a film. And,
It's not about bringing a bunch of people from LA here to shoot a film.
Yeah.
And not hiring anyone here. We want to do like 75 to 80% of our hire is going to be local.
So how many people are you looking at hiring for the film?
Well, we have
Estimating.
about 14 characters in the film.
Okay.
And then we have lots of extra roles, and this is a SAG film, so it's union. So we'll have some speaking parts for a lot of extras, and we'll be hiring a lot of local SAG actors as well. We're hoping that folks see that films could be made here, and really start to promote it a lot more to help to get the tax incentives to be a little bit more competitive, like with Louisiana or Michigan or states like that. I even heard that Oklahoma's got a huge tax incentive now, so
really,
why not Texas, right?
Sure,
it's a huge state.
There's a lot of motion to get that started too. I mean, it's been done before, but there's a lot more push to get the incentives to be better, because I think they realize they're kind of missing out on a lot of work and a lot of great attention brought to Texas, and it's a great state. I mean, so why not be here? And perfectly suited for the film.
I mean, the three of us all are from California, and we ended up here. So
I know, right?
obviously we ended up here for a reason.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. There's a good reason. It's true. It's a meant to be, and
Yes.
that's exactly what this has been. This project, and I don't think it's an accident that we're sitting here in the Woodlands, and and going to be shooting in Huntsville and Conroe in the Woodlands area because we're supposed to.
Yeah.
And all the right people are being attracted to this film. I mean, we have great actors. We have musicians. I don't know if you heard of Edge of Paradise.
Yes.
With Margarita Monet, and she's got some great people involved. Dave Bates, Nick Erickson, and John Chominski. Those guys are her band members, and they're super, super cool, and they're very, very talented.
What kind of music do they play?
They're a rock and roll outfit,
Okay.
but it's a very unique blend that they have. And it's all they do all original songs. Margarita's from she was raised in Houston,
Okay.
so they're an LA based band, but she'll be doing one of the group is going to be doing a song called Ghost in the opening credits, and she's actually going to have an acting part.
Oh, very
Play
cool.
one of her characters.
Yeah,
That's
she's
awesome.
she fronts the band. She's very talented, a great pianist and singer, classically trained. She went to HSPVA
Okay.
here in Houston, so she's a Houstonian for the most part.
Okay.
But she is. I'm just enjoying the ability when I listen to music of thinking. I'm just real excited about the fact that they're going to hear some of that in the film will be really cool. But she's got a really good heart and really wanting to pitch in and be a part of this.
Well, you need sound is just a lot of the independent film suffers from proper audio, proper sound, because we don't have the budgets of these Megatron,
Sure.
T-Rex, Velociraptor distributors and
Yes.
production companies
I
out
got
there.
you. Yeah.
But we could do a lot more and a lot less because we don't have all this high-end, top-heavy type of people to pay. And it's more about people that love film and they're not afraid to take a creative risk. Whereas
love
you
that.
look what's out there now; they're just redoing everything.
They are redoing everything. I'm like, how could you?
It's the same story told over again, but it's
Just with new actors and
New actors.
different music.
and something blows up. I call it the whiz bang effect. Well, have a scene, boom, something blows up. Oh, I'm distracted from a really bad movie.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
to get back to the
Yeah.
scene.
And then independent film, the content is, you're not beholden to a studio or to, an idea that someone's going to tell you. You give them the idea and you have the script, and then suddenly development says, well, it'd be better if we do this. But the story is original. The story is generated. Phil created the story. It comes from his heart, and there's no reason why it shouldn't, why that story shouldn't be told the way in which Phil's vision, says it should. And then, your overhead's lower. You're not dealing with those sorts of constraints, and then that just allows for good film. We feel
Positive.
good filmmaking, positive filmmaking to be made. And then we're not looking to become big movie producers, real wealthy guys out of this. We really love doing what we're doing. We're doing it for a lot of years
can see that.
in the trenches, and the idea is to give the people who love to work and deserve to work a chance to do that. And keep our hands dirty. We feel like I say keep our hands dirty in filmmaking because we just want to continue to do this down the road. And it's not about like, hey man, we're gonna walk the red carpet. We're gonna become famous Hollywood people. We just we love doing what we do.
Right.
And
And
it's
also
a passion.
putting out some positive films too, because there's so much negativity out there.
Yes.
This is
there
a PG-13.
Okay.
It's going to be for the family. There's some stuff, a little bit of violence, but very, very just minimal violence in it. And there's
Is
no.
it more like suspense?
Yeah, it's a thriller type of a
Okay.
thing, and there's kind of aliens are involved, and there's some of that stuff going on.
Mhm.
But it's actually something that the whole family could watch, and which is our
Yeah.
goal. And we were excited about putting something positive out there, especially now in today's world.
Sure. So let me ask you. So it's EVElyn Rising.
Yeah.
So I did see that you have a Facebook page. So do you want to chat about that? Have people like the Facebook page to see any kind of updates on, if you're needing people for the film, if you're needing, volunteers, if you're needing whatever you need. Is that the good spot, or do you have a website set up?
Well, right now we're primarily on Facebook.
Okay.
If folks want to, go ahead and friend us or like us or whatever they do.
Like you can like the Facebook page.
Certainly.
In fact, I have already liked it, and it's
Well, that's good.
EVElynRising.com.
EVElynRising.com.
So,
And we always update with what's going on.
Okay.
And folks can keep up with all that. And the official startup date will be there when we have that lockdown.
Yeah, and if they want to, search out, EVElyn Rising.com, and you can certainly like the Facebook page. There is, both Phil and I have credits, IMDb, there's a lot of information out there that
Sure.
they want to look at. But as things get closer and as we're ready to begin filming, there'll be much more activity. We are really trying we're in here now. Phil, as a matter of fact, is here from Los Angeles, so we can lay more groundwork while he's here and get things started. So
When it comes to like hiring local cast and crew,
Sure.
We put out casting calls and going through the proper channels for that. And, we should get everybody we need. Nowadays, you don't even have to show up to an audition. You just do it online. You just shoot something with your cell phone and, email it to us and we watch it.
Mm-hmm.
We just send you the sides. It's really easy. So, I think technology's pretty amazing. Not like the old days.
No,
Yeah,
it's evolved quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's brought the price and costs down to a certain degree. We intend to use drones in this one. There's a lot of shots where you have helicopter shots, and before that was a liability expense, all kinds of expense, and it was huge. And now it can be done. The quality of digital capture and image capture with digital cameras and 4Ks and whatnot makes it very accessible and easy to get beautiful panoramic running all kinds of shots without having to necessarily, you have to hop in a helicopter and put a camera in there. That's a whole different animal. But
Yeah, it is.
And you got your camera guy leaning out the window, and if he falls, he better be racking focus all the way to the ground.
Right,
Just-
right.
That's what they do, right?
I know.
So it's like, did you get a shot?
Right, did
Yes,
you
you
get
did.
it?
Okay, good.
It's all
I
right.
don't
Your
care
arms
that
are broken.
your
That's
We'll
okay.
see you
knees are
later.
skinned and burned, but
That's
did
all
you
right.
get the shot?
You'll heal. But we can't. We don't. You got another one in you.
But it does really, it opens you up to a whole lot more.
The production
without-
value is
yeah.
just the same as the big
Sure.
studios now. They're pretty top heavy, but I mean they still turn out some epic films that independent films we just don't have the budget for that. But I mean Avatar was something that was amazing. I thought.
Yeah, it
But
was amazing.
independent film is more grassroots based, and I think it really relates more to the common person.
Mm-hmm.
I mean we can't all be James Bond, but it's
We'd
fun
like
to
to
watch,
think so,
right?
But, right.
It's fun to drive the Aston Martin and
Yes.
whatever, but.
But I think you want a story that's going to speak to somebody when they watch it. They think either, well, I know that experience, I've lived that experience, or I feel that way, and it's something that they might feel maybe it's right in their neighborhood, right at home, or right from their life.
And here they will embrace that.
I-
Any area that you go to, they will absolutely embrace it.
Right.
I believe that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see the film, EVElyn Rising, and it's EVElynRising.com. You can also look at the Facebook page. So do we know an actual start date for filming yet?
We're hoping around August.
August.
That's our goal right now.
And
we'll be
then-
updating regularly on Facebook
Okay.
to keep folks, up to date with what's happening.
And that's the best place, really. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the crazy person. Like, my eyes open and I go directly to my phone to look at my Facebook page,
Right.
Yeah.
see what's going on.
But that's how people keep in touch with what's
Sure.
going on. I mean,
It's a great thing.
It is.
Social
It is.
media is pretty amazing.
It is.
So, do we know an official, like, once you start filming, do you have like a target date of when you'll launch the film?
Well,
How long
usually
does that typically take?
it's like 8 weeks when you get your final budget locked in place and all your people locked in place. And there's an 8 to 6 week window. And then this is a 24-day shoot. And then it's going to be 4 months after that in post-production. So we're probably looking at the beginning of the next year
Okay.
for
So
the
beginning
for the
of
release of it.
2017.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Joe and Phil, thank you so much for coming in and
Thanks for
sharing
having
about
us.
this.
Thank
you.
The next time you're back out, come back to the studio. Let's do another interview.
Great.
Kind of an update, what's going on, how people can get involved or help out, or spread the word about the film. Because our listeners are very loyal, and if we just ask, they'll help us out. So
Absolutely. Thank
Cool.
you.
thanks so much for coming in. WoodlandsHits.com.
It's a pleasure, yeah.
Thank you.